Hello everybody and welcome back to our next to last tutorial video in this how to make an avatar series. It is crazy that we are already at this point, but it has been a very exciting journey to get to this point where we are putting on the final details of our avatar, and the next video will be exporting out of Unity and uploading to vrchat, which is super duper exciting. So last video we did just another little quality of life thing, and we added some contacts onto our avatar. We added a head pat and a butt slap contact, and this time we are going to be doing a little bit more of some quality of life stuff. Again, not super duper like necessary, but something that I like to add is GoGo Loco for our desktop users and half body users, as well as custom icons to the menu. Just makes it a little bit prettier to look at and a little bit easier to quickly know what you're toggling on and off. So that's what we're going to be covering today. It shouldn't really be a very long video, but just kind of wrapping up, let me make sure. Oh, we're also going to be adding SPS. I'm so sorry. I was pulling up my list of things to make sure that there was, everything that I had. So we're going to be adding SPS as well. I am going to show you guys how to get to their server if you have any issues with SPS. It's not something that I'm going to discuss a lot because SPS is an 18+ only add on to your avatar, and so I'm not the most comfortable spending a whole ton of time on it on my tutorials, just because I don't want to have to like age restrict this series or this video. So I'm just going to show you guys how to quickly add it. If you need to know any more information about it, I would recommend reaching out to their server, since it is their tool and they can help you a little bit further. So we have quite a few things to set up. It shouldn't be too long of a video, but I'll do my best to keep it within a timely manner. But after this, our avatar will be ready to really start wrapping up and finishing off and getting uploaded to vrchat. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it and get started. Alrighty, so we left off, like I said, with adding some contacts. I did realize after I finished recording it that I forgot to add the contacts as toggles to the menu. So just to kind of show you guys, I just went in here and I added them to the idols menu, and I just changed it to like idols plus contacts and just added them as typical toggles, since they're already set up as bowls, and that way you can toggle it on and off in case you don't want to have them constantly playing. Then you can just toggle them off. So with GoGo Loco, I think is going to be the first thing that we're going to add. I'm going to show you guys their website on how to set it up. It's something that I have to reference every single time, and something that I would recommend that you pull up to make sure that you're getting everything inserted correctly. Before we do that, actually, no, we're going to do that a bit later. Sorry, bear with me for being a little out of it. I'm recording late at night. So for GoGo Loco, I had mentioned them quite a few videos back. This is how for desktop users or half body users can pose their avatar to sit, stand, lay down, do whatever, a few different poses, without having full body. So it's really cool. It's free to get, and it's fairly easy to set up. I do recommend that you head over to their Gumroad page after you've gotten it, and you come to their link tree, and it goes GoGo Loco 1.8.6 documentation. They update this every time that there's a new version. So there is Go All and Go Beyond. This page overwhelmed me a lot whenever I first started using GoGo Loco. So you actually just need to come down here where it says installation, Go All and Go Beyond. So this one has the fly feature, which I've never really understood or gotten to work. I just tend to use Go All. It's totally up to you if you want to mess around with the fly feature. I use Go All. So click whichever one that you need to, and it's going to walk you through exactly how to set it up, which I'm going to drag over here to the side because I'm going to need to do some copying and pasting. So to set up your GoGo Loco, I'm just going to kind of run you guys through basically the documentation. Nothing that I'm giving you is not on the documents. Do I not have it installed? Oh my god, I don't have it installed. Okay, hold on. Okay, and while we are waiting for GoGo Loco to finish installing, to install SPS, you do need the wholesome dependencies, and I think that's it. And you need the wholesome SPS configurator. So make sure that you have the configurator and the dependencies installed into your project. And we're going to need both of those in there for SPS to be set up. So that's currently importing. As soon as that finishes importing, then we will start. Oh, it just finished. Never mind. So, okay. So I have got both GoGo Loco and wholesome and SPS installed. So for GoGo Loco, like I said, I'm just going to kind of like take you guys through what the documentation that they provide goes through to get it all set up. But just in case you need a visual, then that's what I'm here for. So to start, you're going to need to go over to your avatar where we've been messing around with like the FX and our menu and our parameters, and where it says default locomotion, idle. We already have our gesture for index. The gesture and the action for GoGo Loco are both not required, but I normally add the action since I have something in my gesture just to kind of be safe. But we're going to, get that spot ready. You're going to want to click on it so it says none like it did. And then you're going to open your GoGo Loco folder and you're going to come over here to controllers. And these are the ones that we're going to need. So we're going to come back over here. And for our base, I'm going to grab a GoGo Loco base. I'm so sorry. Unity is being frustrating. Also, you can ignore this warning. I tried moving stuff around and it yelled at me. I guess while this is loading, something important is if you have right defaults on your avatar, like I have them on my facial expressions, we're actually going to want to come down to this folder here that says controllers WD for right defaults. If you have right defaults off, then you're going to want to use the ones that are just under controllers. So I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm not entirely too sure why Unity is deciding to do whatever it was doing, but so since I have right defaults turned on, I'm going to be using these ones. So we're just going to grab our base and drag it over there, and everything, like I said, for right defaults on, all of them should end in WD. If you have some that have WD and some of them that don't, you need to make sure that it's consistent or it will break. And then we're going to grab our additive, boop, and our action, and drop that in there. So all three of them have WD. And then we're going to go to our sitting and we're going to add sitting. It is okay that the gesture one is not GoGo Loco. The gesture is literally just for your hands. So we have our fake index gestures on there, and that's perfectly okay. So now that we have those, then we are good to go. You can put in the T-pose. I've never put in the T-pose. And their documentation doesn't say anything about putting in the T-pose, but they do have it included. So that's an option if that's what you would like to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And then we're going to head over to our parameters here. And you're going to want to add, I think it's like 13. But I'm just going to title this like a G and just click plus quite a few times because we're going to need quite a few new parameters for our GoGo Loco. I'm not really sure how many that is, but that's what I'm going to add. So on the GoGo Loco page, they have down here, so right, like I clicked go all, and I'm just going through all of this. It shows you how to add everything, but you're just going to want to copy, like highlight, copy, and paste all of these and put it onto your parameters. What I normally do, you can do it individually, like as you go along, if you want to. I normally come through and I'll just add everything and then I'll go back and fix everything up after, but you can do it as you go if you want. But I'll explain what I mean by that here in just a second. So the only thing is, I want to toss this up here. The only thing is, on these, they have these stand idle, crouch idle, and prone idle mirrors that they say that you're supposed to add, but then on their thing, they don't have it added. So it says that these need to be written in order or like multiple gimmicks won't work across. And this screenshot shows you the type, so like integers, floats, bools, default, saved, and synced. It shows you exactly how to set it up, which is what we are about to do. I'm just going to mimic over on my project what this image shows. They have been contacted, like that these things are not included, but oh, wait. Yeah, no, okay, I'm not crazy. So these are stand, idle, crouch, idle, prone, idle, but we don't have the mirror ones included. Okay, for a second I thought they updated it, but they haven't updated it yet. So for now, I personally just haven't been including those since I'm not too sure what to set those up as. So yeah, I've just been leaving it with the ones that are included in that screenshot. What I'm doing right now is I'm going through at the beginning and just deleting these extra spaces. A lot of times if your GoGo Loco's not working, your parameters are most likely what's messed up. There's extra spaces maybe at the front or at the end, or they're out of order. So I'm going to go through right now and I'm going to rearrange these. You can just drag like this to rearrange them, and I'm going to set up all of these 3 columns to match the screenshot that I just showed you that's on their document. So I'll be right back. All right, so I've gone through and I have gotten everything to match up to what is in their image. So yeah, I just, like I said, I made sure that this is all in the right order. The integers, floats, bools are all selected, and the defaults and saveds are all checkmarked according to their document. And then the last thing that you need to do is just add it to your menu. So if you go over to your main menu, I'm going to click new and I'm going to add GoGo Loco. And this is going to be a sub menu, and we're going to come back down to our GoGo Loco. And I am using the Go All. So I'm just going to drag that in there, and there it is. Okay, there we go. For some reason, okay, so I'm actually going to change that because that was the main menu. And it's actually down here in the menu. I'd rather it do that so that it's not an extra menu that they have to open. So now whenever somebody's in game, they just have to click it the once and it'll open the normal menu that they're all used to. So that's installing GoGo Loco. So now we're going to go ahead and install our SPS, and then we will do icons. So for SPS, you're going to want to come up here and you're going to go to Tools, Wholesome SPS Configurator, and Zenpia's e-girl bases have not been included, at least that I'm aware of. It might be that I just have an older version of SPS, but I just normally click ZenFit. She has flat feet, so we're going to leave it flat. If you have it heeled, you'll just select that, and we're going to leave all of this up here. I am blurring it out in the video because, again, I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, and especially because I'm not marking this video as 18+. So I'm going to leave up all the options for SPS, and you're just going to click on your avatar. You have to make sure that your avatar is selected in your hierarchy or it will not work. And then the button pops up down here. It says add sockets. One of the things that I do really like is it tells you how much memory it's going to use after you add SPS. That way you can make sure you're not going over your memory, which is basically how many parameter slots you have. So I'm just going to click add sockets, and it's going to do its thing. And then once it does, you can close down that menu. And if we extend down our avatar, it is right here. So I'm just going to make a duplicate of this real quick, just to keep things nice and organized, and I'm going to drop it down there. So now, again, I'm blurring this part out, but SPS is down here. You can click on the thing, make sure your gizmos are turned on if you need to, adjust where the location of things are. So where the little yellow arrows are, you can move those according to however you need to for your avatar. I'm going to click off so that you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, you can move it all accordingly to adjust it to whatever base you're using. If your base isn't shown up on there, you know, then it at least adds it for you. And then you can just adjust the placement. And on the menu, you can like uncheck mark ones that you don't want if you need to save memory. That's really it whenever it comes to SPS. Once you upload your avatar, then the menu and stuff will automatically be added for you. And if you are commercially selling your avatar, you just need to leave that in there. And then whenever on the next like tutorial video, the last one, whenever we talk about exporting your avatar, I will show you how to what you need to check mark it versus uncheck mark to be able to sell your avatar commercially with SPS. So we will cover that at that time. The last thing that we're going to cover in today's video is going to be setting up custom icons. So there's a few different ways that you can do it. I had talked about before, like way back, about different like add-ons and stuff that we wanted to add into our projects that I use a lot. And one of them was Hi's icon generator. Now you don't have to. Last time I looked at it, it was through their Patreon only. I prefer it because it lets me capture things in game. But if you don't have that, then I'm going to show you a different website that I sometimes use for icons that I think will be really helpful if you want to set up your own. Now, first things first, we're going to do Hi's icon generator through Unity, and then I'll show you guys the other website that you can use. Okay, so to get started on Hi's icon generator, you're going to come up here to Window. We're going to go to Hi. Hold on, I don't think I had it installed. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I finally got it installed. So like I was saying, we're going to come up here to Window, we're going to go to Hi, and it's going to say Icon Gen Capture or Icon Gen Thumbnail. I normally use, I think it's the, is it the capture? No, it is the thumbnail. Okay, sorry, give me a second. So thumbnail, and we're going to go start capture. Now we're going to say transparent because we don't want there to be a background. And what this basically lets me do, so if I go into Gesture Manager, just to kind of make things a little bit easier for us, let's go into Gesture Manager. Since we have SPS applied, it's going to start running this VRC Fury, which is basically doing the thing. So VRC Fury is what auto adds the menus for SPS. So that's what it is doing right now. Once this finishes though, then I'll move on to get back to the icons. So while that's going, something that I just thought of is you can also go to Pumpkins, the same creator of like Pumpkins avatar tools that we used earlier on their GitHub, and you can download their editor screenshot. This is another really good option for making custom icons. I don't want anything to like overlap, so I don't want to import it into my project, but it basically lets you take Unity screenshots with transparent backgrounds, kind of like this does. This is just going to do a few extra things for me that Pumpkin's editor screenshot won't, but that will be a really good option if you want to kind of do what I'm doing and then take it into like a Photoshop or a photo editing software and set up your own custom icons, which I'll kind of explain a little bit more here in a second. But anyways, for Hi's, if we come over here and we click like hat, okay, so I had the wrong thing. I am so sorry. So we actually want Icon Gen Capture, and then I'm going to head back into Gesture Manager. So I deeply apologize. The thumbnail was for something else. So you actually want to hit Icon Gen Capture if you're going to be using this tool. I deeply apologize about that. Okay, so using Icon Gen Capture, I can come in here and I have only scene selection checked marked. So that's one of the things that I really like about this tool is it kind of auto does this for me instead of having to like manually hide everything. It'll go off of just what I'm clicking on, as well as if I can click on it again. There we go. You can adjust the like field of view. You can adjust like the clipping, which I normally just leave as it was. That's more for like if things like the bounding boxes basically. You can have things transparent. You can have things like with background. You can have the post-processing. So if you import like a special Unity scene for like lighting, you can have it reflect that. But something else that I like is basically once I hit save as PNG, if you notice up here it says icon size 256 by 256. I don't have to manually try to worry about the sizing. So it already is making it the size of the icons that vrchat's menu uses, as well as if you end up going into the, I think it's the thumbnail viewer. No, I always get so confused on what that one does. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Give me just a second. Let me get it pulled up. So you can do, preview generator. So if you click on this little like circle for preview generator, it says like circle. You have like this one with like the dots. You can do this like orange filter thing, a square, a no to like say you're turning things off. Anyways, like you can like do something like this, right? So this is the template circle. So if you come in here into highs, folders down here, icon gen, and then templates, you can click over here on the circle and you can sit here and like edit the colors, right? So if I wanted it to be more of like an orangey color, right? Like I could do something like that. So I think that's really, really cool. And then if you want it to have like a background or like edit the colors, right? Like I just find it really useful. So it's something that I really like. I personally normally just leave it as none and I just have like just the item itself, but that's why I like this tool, is it kind of auto does everything for me in Unity, so I don't really have to like take it out. But if you don't want to sign up for their Patreon or you can't afford it, Pumpkin's avatar screenshots will let you take transparent screenshots. You would just have to like manually hide everything, take the screenshot you want, and then you could come over to somewhere like Canva. Canva is my absolute favorite website to use. And you could come through, I'm sorry for like blurring out so much. I have a lot of personal projects on here. But you could come through and you could, pick whatever size you want, or you could tell it to have a custom size, and then you could upload your image in here and decorate it however you want to, and then you can make your own thumbnails and your icons. So it's pretty cool. It's just a little bit more time consuming. So that's why I personally like to use highs. But you can use whatever you want to. So I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this icons. And I'm going to go ahead and drag it up there. I am sorry to confuse you. So in here, I'm going to name this hat. So I'm just going to name it accordingly. And then I can go through on everything that's going to have, that's going to be a toggle. And I can adjust it this way, or I can adjust it like with the field of view down there. And I'm just going to name it choker, right? And I can go through for every single item that's going to have a toggle. And we're going to add these to our menu so that she has custom icons. So I will be right back once I get everything an icon generated. Alrighty, so I've gone through and gotten screenshots of everything. I also want to recommend, if you head over to Jinxie, you can search up like icons, right? And there's a ton of creators in this community that are also artists that will sell icon packs. So if you don't want it to be like an in-game object like these, you can like I said, you can use something like Canva or Photoshop and make your own, but you can also buy pre-made icon packs and people will draw out different things, different, like they'll draw out like jackets and hats and things like that, but they'll also draw like a hue shift, like little picture or like an on-off picture, which I actually have bought some from an artist named Necofilka, I think is how you say their name. And anyway, so I'm going to import Neko's art pack that I have bought from them for the rest of the toggles. So I just wanted to toss this in there real quick. I'm going to import those and then we will start setting it up on our menu. Okay, so I've finished importing just a few extra icons that I had bought from Necofilka. And so now we're going to start adding them to our menu. I normally hit this little lock icon down here so that if I accidentally click on something, it's not going to leave this section. So it's just a little bit easier for me to be able to add the icons. So for now, let's start with our clothing. So actually, I'm going to grab a few more. Okay, sorry for being a bit more scatterbrained, but I wanted to grab a few extra icons. So for like the clothing, this is going to lead to the menu that's going to have all the clothing options. So I'm just going to drag in this backpack, and you're going to put it where it says name, clothing, none texture. You're going to put it right here. So any icon that you want to show up for that like toggle or that menu or sub menu or anything like that, you're going to want to put here. So I'm going to put these here, because I kind of want these to all be like her designs. I think that would look really nice and cohesive. And then we can go to clothing, and now we can start adding like a little bit further. So like we can go accessories, do like this one. And then now for like the bottom pants, now I can actually come to the pants that we screenshot earlier, so that they know exactly like, okay, this isn't just a sub menu like those other ones were with some of these more generic icons. This is specifically for the pants. So you can do that for all of them. And you can also change the name of your toggles if you want to, which I'll probably go through and make it a little bit just more of the name of the item. I'm not too sure if I'll leave it like this or not, but yeah, so that's how you go through and you add custom icons. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to add everything to everything that I want, and I will be back with you guys whenever I'm done. Alrighty, so I have gone through and added everything to have its own icons. So like you can see here, like the wings, the tail, horns, and another, of course, wonderful way to test this is by jumping over into Gesture Manager. Since Gesture Manager shows you the menus that you have in game, then you'll be able to test out your icons there. So yeah, I'll load this up and then make sure that everything looks good, and then we should be able to wrap up this this tutorial. So if we head over here to our Gesture Manager, we can see all of our icons that we chose. So if we come over to like clothing, we can see there's our custom icons that we took earlier with highs, icon generator, there's all of our hue shifts, and so forth. So that's really cool. Yeah. So I think we are all set to go ahead and head on over to wrap up this tutorial. Alrighty, so we are almost done with this tutorial series. Today we covered adding GoGo Loco, adding SPS, which by the way will not be included on this avatar. I meant to mention that earlier. This avatar is just going to be a public only. She's not going to be available for sale just because she's a lot more simple than most of the for sale avatars that I put out, so I didn't really feel like putting her out for sale since she's just so simple. So I'm leaving her to be a public avatar, and SPS cannot be put on public avatars, as public avatars need to stay safe for work. So she won't have that. So I just wanted to throw that out as like a little disclaimer. I will still put them in the credits list, just in case anyone wants to know where you can download SPS, then you guys will have that link. But we talked about adding GoGo Loco and SPS, as well as creating our custom icons with High's icon generator, as well as kind of briefly talking about a few different ways that you can set up your own custom icons without using the icon generator. I highly recommend High's icon generator simply because, like I said before, it just lets you do so much in game. Of course, like I also mentioned, there's tons of amazing creators that are also artists, like Necofilka, as well as there's quite a few others that will make their own icons, like the ones that you saw me using on her that weren't of just her items. So I definitely recommend checking some out on Jinxie. You can search there and find loads and loads of different creators icon packs that they've put up for sale. And I just think it's really fun, cute little way to kind of make your menu a little bit more customizable and a little bit like easier to read, especially if you're like a dancer or something, you need to quickly know what toggle you're hitting. So yeah, just another little quality of life thing that I really enjoy. I believe that is it whenever it comes to everything that I typically set up on my avatar. So the next tutorial is going to be wrapping everything up. We're going to talk about uploading to vrchat, as well as exporting if you're wanting to sell your avatar commercially, some of the tips and tricks, and just little good things I think to remember if you're wanting to put your avatar out commercially. So we're going to talk about a lot of that next episode, and that will be the final episode of this series. As far as actually setting up our avatar, we are all done. Congratulations. And next video we will do the final step, get it in game and exported for your store page if that's what you want to do. So really looking forward to that next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to leave a comment down below or join my Discord server if you have any questions. As I've been saying the past 2 tutorials, at the time of recording this, I know this doesn't count for future viewers, but at the time of recording this, I am leaving to go on a family vacation, and I'll be gone for about 2 weeks. So normally the Discord server is the quicker way to reach me. If you're watching this soon or even in the future, I do have a really busy summer, and time planned ahead. So if you're struggling to reach me one way or the other, Discord or YouTube, just bear with me, that things are going to be pretty hectic for me moving forward after this series is posted. But I will do my best to answer any questions that you guys have as quickly as I can. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye-bye.